My name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Now, last time we got together, we finished up a 3-part series on the subject, is the scientific model really scientific? And the conclusion was that it starts off with observations of the world around us. It starts off with observations, and all of our observations are in first person. I see, I touch, I smell, I taste, I touch. First person and subjective. So we're starting off with subjective observations. And then we try to rationalize those into objective ways of looking. In other words, objective, we are not influenced by anything outside of the object. That's impossible. We can only observe through the lens of what we know, which is our belief system. So the observer's belief system influences what he is looking at. This is called the observer effect. So with that premise, you can't have objective investigation, and science, therefore, using that model, is not objective. So our whole world process through the scientific method is flawed. But we will believe in the egoic world that it is very much scientifically precise. And we're going to talk more about that in the next several videos and look at different models. Why am I doing that? Because the scientific method, the belief that the scientific method is scientific, is the cornerstone of the egoic world and holds the illusion that we live in place. And so I'm throwing a couple of rocks at it to support you and maybe questioning how scientific science is. Now today is going to be no exception. And what we're talking about is, can science ever find reality? Pretty straightforward. So let us take a look at some of those things that go into that. And I have some of them listed here. So let us look at that. The first one, which I want to emphasize, we are living in an illusion. We're living in an illusion, and it's very magnificent. It's very captivating, and it keeps us from really looking what it's made out of and how it's put together. So that's the first thing we have to be aware of. We're living in an illusion. Now, I'm being very specific here, and we'll get back to that in a moment. There is nothing but energy outside of you. There is nothing but energy, as we have talked about in other videos, and that energy is infinite, and it is everywhere. And I have called it consciousness. And consciousness is everywhere. Now, there's a confusion in terminology. Consciousness is not conscious. See, in our language, we confuse. We think, well, I'm alive. I know I'm alive because I'm conscious. I'm conscious that I'm here. I'm conscious that the camera is on and taking this video. I am conscious about a lot of things. I'm aware. That's not consciousness. Consciousness is fundamental, and everything rests in consciousness. And so that's what we're looking about here. It's all energy. It's all consciousness. So we are in an illusion, which is in consciousness, and follows the egoic system belief process. So now the next one. There is no objective world. There is no objective world. Now I have a video on that, and I'll reference it. But we believe there is an objective world that is outside of us. But I just said there's nothing but energy. So outside of us, as well as inside of us, is only energy. And outside of us, as well as inside of us, is what we're embedded in consciousness. So right there, now we're still looking for reality, because we think reality is some objective outside in world. We create within the illusion, and we create the illusion that we're in. Now you can also look at the illusion as a simulation. Now we do pick up information through our senses, and then from that information we filter it, we massage it, and then we make it into the illusion inside of us based on our belief system, and then project that onto the energy system. And then we see that projection onto the energy system, and then we take that information in, and it becomes a closed loop as we make a simulation of what we think is outside of us based upon the input from our senses. And so we're creating something that we think is similar to what's outside, but it is an inside creation. Again, no reality. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about, there is no reality to be found within the illusion. There's no reality that science or you or I or anybody else can find from within the illusion, from within the egoic world. But oh, don't we believe there is? There is all those objects out there. Cars and trucks and people and dogs and kitty cats and sandwiches and animals and all kinds of stuff that we also make. So this is a major step in understanding we're in an illusion and we are the creators of the simulation that we live in. So what is the conclusion? Can science ever find reality? No. It doesn't matter which well, which subject we talk about. I call it a well because you look down the well and you're going to draw water from it, and it has a bottom. And when you get to the bottom, you know the answer. What's in the well? The well has no bottom. It goes straight to infinity. So everything that we're looking at, very specifically in the scientific world, like the great collider, Hadron Collider. They're coming to the end of that. Now they're thinking, God, we got to get something going faster than what we got now so that we can reach the speed of light and find out what reality is. We're not going to find out. The main reason? We're in an illusion. We create simulations. We don't create reality. Now, just as another example, I have another video, and I think it's a video or a playlist. You can never see me the way I am because of how you create a simulation of me, not me, a simulation of me within the illusion. Oh, behind the illusion, which we can't get to directly because we're in the illusion. Behind the illusion is what reality is. The scientific method and the scientific approach will never find reality. Now, we are in an illusion, and it is so magnificent, boggles the mind. And so, be good to yourself. Give this some thought. Why am I doing this? So you can begin to have mastery over your life. So you can begin within the illusion to change and to do things that you want to do. The difference being in the world, which we are, but not of the world. The recognition that this is a playground. This is Maya. And when we do that, then we can begin to manipulate, to manifest in different ways. Oh, how fun can that be? So we look forward to seeing you next time. Oh, next time. I've already got it started. And again, it's going to be around looking at, we can't put too much faith in science. We got to do our own inside work rather than relying on somebody else telling you what's going on in your world and how to change it. Look forward to seeing you next time here. And as I said before, the only place you can be right now, here in the illusion. Bye now.